Let's shift our focus to Ukraine now, where Russia continues to bombard eastern and southern cities of Ukraine. The war-torn nation is left in shambles amid a raging war. In the latest development from war-scarred country, Ukraine's President Zelenskyy vows to rebuild Odessa's military airfield runway, which was destroyed in Russian strikes. The Defense Ministry of Russia released visuals showing a missile being fired to a runway at a military airfield near the port city. Russia claims that it was a high-precision Onyx missile fired from a launcher in an undisclosed location. The airfield attacker contained weapons and ammunition supplied to Ukraine by the United States and European countries.
Сьогодні окупанти знову били ракетами по Дніпропетровщині, по Одесі. Знову і знову російські війська доводять, що одесити такі ж вороги для Росії, як і всі інші українці. Знищено злітну смугу Одеського аеропорту. Ми її, звісно ж, відбудуємо. Але Одеса ніколи не забуде таке російське ставлення до неї.
Meanwhile, the United Nations confirmed an operation being carried out to evacuate civilians from besieged Azovstal steel plant in the southern Ukrainian port city of Mariupol. President Zelenskyy said that over 100 civilians have been evacuated so far. Earlier, the Russian Defense Ministry said that two groups of civilians left the residential area around the besieged steel plant, which is the last stronghold of Ukrainians in the city. Moscow claims that these 46 civilians were provided with food and shelter after leaving the area. This as hundreds of Ukrainian fighters and civilians continue to remain holed up in the vast plant complex. In a bid to stall the Russian advances, Ukrainian authorities also released water from a hydroelectric dam to block the Russian troops. Residents of a Demidov village in the north of Kiev took the decision to flood the village to delay Russia's assault on the Ukrainian capital and to buy more time for Ukrainian military to bolster its defenses.
Все-таки цей розлив цієї річки, він все-таки призупинив, я не знаю, як назвати цих чи людей, чи цих істот, які сюди прийшли. Все ж таки воно їх тут затормозило, вони тут получилися як у...
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy met with U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi in Kiev. During the meet, Zelenskyy thanked the United States for supporting Ukraine in defending its sovereignty amid a raging war.
Jim McGovern from Massachusetts. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, reminder.
President,
Hi
good to see you again. Yes.
You're welcome. Jason Crow from Colorado.
Adam Schiff from California.
Я вам вдячний за, по-перше, за цей сигнал потужної підтримки України, потужної підтримки Сполучених Штатів, народу Сполучених Штатів, Конгресу і двопалатної підтримки, і двопартійної. Цей сигнал високо ціную я як президент, наша команда і народ України. Це говорить про те, що Сполучені Штати є сьогодні дійсно лідером потужної підтримки України в часи війни проти агресії Російської Федерації. І я за це хочу вам подякувати за те, що допомагаєте Україні захищати.
Now, the United States is mulling a $33 billion aid package for Ukraine proposed by President Joe Biden earlier last week. Pelosi, in her address, said, "We hope to, as soon as possible, pass that legislation."
We believe that we are visiting you to say thank you for your fight for freedom, that we are on a frontier of freedom, and that your fight is a fight for everyone. And so our commitment is to be there for you until the fight is done.
Now, Moscow calls its actions in Ukraine special operations to disarm Ukraine and rid it of anti-Russian nationalism fomented by the West. However, Ukraine and the West claim that Russia launched an unprovoked war of aggression. The United States and its European allies have imposed sweeping sanctions on Russia's economy and have been providing Ukraine with weapons and humanitarian aid.